Jeff Brom getting Western Kentucky fired up for the Dynacraft ConfUSA Football Championship game on ESPN. Here at Houchins-Smith Stadium in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the Hilltoppers shooting for their second straight ConfUSA title, something they haven't done since the early 70s, taking on Louisiana Tech. These teams met in Ruston 2 months ago. Both quarterbacks in the game threw 5 touchdown passes. Louisiana Tech was up big, but Mike White rallied the Hilltoppers in the fourth quarter, plus a block punt. Returned for a touchdown, made it a 3-point game, but Louisiana Tech forces a fumble late, and the Bulldogs hold on for a 55-52 win. Hi, everybody. Dave Pasch alongside Tom Luganbill. Quinn Kesnick will join us in a bit. And in that game, Tom, almost 100 points and 1,000 yards. We expect more of the same, a lot of offense. So if you love punting and defense, Alabama and Florida play at 4 o'clock. This is all about offense today.
This is all about fireworks. And when these two teams met the first time around, both teams amassed almost 1,000 yards of total offense. The difference in the football game was Western Kentucky's inability to protect the football. That game was on the road in Ruston. They lost the opportunity. But here today, they play host to the Bulldogs. This thing should get real fun. And by the way, it's going to get real long.
And it's going to get cold. It's in the 30s right now. Kylan Towner is back. Louisiana Tech won the toss and will defer to the second half. And a squib kick to start the game. They're going to keep it away from Towner. And Western Kentucky going to get it to about the 31-yard line as Shaquille Johnson, one of the up men, scooped it up. Let's check in with Quinn.
Jeff Brom's success here at Western Kentucky has led to speculation about his coaching future. On Friday, there were reports published that linked him to the Purdue job. We asked Coach later in the day about those reports. He said, the rumors are untrue. I don't have an agent and haven't addressed my future with the team this year. He said, I've had opportunities last year, but I'm not just going to take anything. Interesting to note that he makes $800,000 here in ConfUSA. A win today, bonus of $50,000.
And on the first play, a reception to Lucky Jackson. We'll get more, Quint, into the Brom situation a little bit later. Let's highlight the quarterback right now, Mike White, who's in the top 10 nationally in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He is a first-year starter, was at South Florida, replaces Brandon Doughty, who's in the NFL. He was a 3-year starter at Western Kentucky. They're going to run the ball to Anthony Wales, who gets outside, thrown out of bounds in midfield after a gain of 11. Wales, almost 1,200 rushing yards. We mentioned both quarterbacks in that earlier meeting had 5 touchdowns, with White threw 3 picks in that game, has only 5 on the season. Western Kentucky, a 9-3 record. They have never won 10 games in back-to-back seasons. Only 1 loss in conference play the last 2 years. It was in Ruston earlier this season. Wales carrying defenders with him near the first down marker to the 40-yard line. All right, Tom, our impact players brought to you by Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry.
Look no further than the offensive perimeter for both Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky. Trent Taylor leads the Bulldogs, 113 receptions. Carlos Henderson takes the top off the defense for Louisiana Tech. And then Taiwan Taylor and Nicholas Norris, 2 guys that can really create plays in space.
Both guys for Western Kentucky over 1,000 receiving yards. And this is Taiwan Taylor. Taylor out of bounds inside the 25. Xavier Woods pushed out Taylor, his 83rd catch. He is 7th in the nation in receiving yards.
Well, such a challenge to tackle in space. When you get the ball out so quick and you don't make that tackle right there, that should have been a 2-yard gain. Instead, you're in the red area now, and your tempo starts to increase with the offense.
He picks up 19 yards on the play. First down from the 22-yard line. They're going to run Wales off the right side. In the backfield, but able to get positive yardage before he's wrapped up by Woods. And obviously, Tom, we're going to see so many passes in this game, but the Western Kentucky coaches told us yesterday this offense centers around Anthony Wales, their running back, who leads the conference in scoring.
Yeah, you don't really expect to see this offense come out and have 3 rushing plays in the first stanza here, but that's part of the balance. You got to take some of this pressure off of Mike White so you get bigger, more explosive plays when you do choose to throw it.
White dumping it off across the middle to Norris to the 15-yard line, picking up 5, so it'll bring up 3rd down here. Brandon Durman on the tackle. Louisiana Tech has 2 linebackers suspended for today's game for academic reasons. Jordan Harris, their leading tackler, and Dalton Santos. So let's see if Western Kentucky tries to attack the middle of that Louisiana Tech defense. Play fake and a throw to an open man in the end zone, but that was a one-hopper. Boy, Norris was open and White couldn't get it to him. Here comes the field goal team.
Well, they certainly had the look that they wanted, but when you've got somebody in your kitchen, it alters the release point. Couldn't get enough power behind that football. That should have been a touchdown. Credit the pressure from Louisiana Tech, and this will be a key for both of these ball clubs here today. Red zone efficiency on offense, and can you get off the field and get a stop on defense?
Skylar Simcox, only his 17th attempt on the season, 32 yards away. And the Hilltoppers are on the board first. I mean, do you think Purdue is the right job for somebody like Jeff Brom?
Personally, no, I don't. I think there could be better opportunities with better resources and availability to win sooner rather than later for him at some point.
They're going to kick it to Carlos Henderson, who has 2 returns for touchdowns this year. And they do a great job on him. They tackle him at the 15-yard line. Drew Davis was down there for Western. Louisiana Tech's offense out there now for the first time, and their quarterback is senior Ryan Higgins. Jeff Driscoll was the quarterback last year that was drafted by the 49ers. Higgins on the season, 4th in the country in passing yards per game. And with 1 touchdown pass today, he'll tie Tim Rattay for number 2 in passing touchdowns in a single season. Rattay was a great player here. He's now on the staff as a quarterback's coach. Swing pass on first down out in the flat to Carlos Henderson. And Henderson with running room across the 30. The race is on. Henderson to the 40-yard line. Still going. And finally brought down at the 10-yard line. That looked like it might be a negative play. Instead, it goes for almost 80 yards.
This is what makes defending the perimeter so difficult. They love this perimeter quick screen game offensively, but then you've got to be able to get off blocks and make tackles if you're Western Kentucky. Corey Henderson has the ability to change the face of the game, and when you can cut back against the grain, you get in a foot race, and credit Western Kentucky defensively for getting on their horse and preventing a touchdown right there.
So a first down and goal on the 10-yard line. Out on the flat it goes. Trent Taylor couldn't hang on. That was a forward pass, so it's incomplete. You rarely see Trent Taylor drop the ball. He's got 113 catches on the season.
Not a very well thrown ball there, Dave, and I think if Ryan Higgins could have that one back, he'd get it up, get it out of his hand a little bit quicker. You saw the perimeter stock blocks. That's what they want to do, is be man on that perimeter, allow number 5 Trent Taylor to make plays after the catch.
So 2 plays, 2 pass plays for La Tech. Now they're going to hand it off to Jared Kraft. He's down to the 7-yard line, and with those yards right there, Kraft hits the 1,000-yard plateau on the season rushing the football. Carlos Henderson returns for Louisiana Tech. Looked like he was out of breath after that long 79-yard run.
Yeah, he ran out of a little steam there, and I think it's important to see some run game for Louisiana Tech, something that was sorely lacking a week ago in their loss to Southern Miss. I think it played a huge role in why Ryan Higgins committed 3 turnovers in the passing game. There was a lot of pressure on the offensive line due to a lack of a running game on the road in the loss last week.
You see what Henderson did in the first meeting, absolutely destroyed Western Kentucky. 3rd and goal from the 8, and that pass broken up, incomplete, intended for Henderson. May have gotten tipped. So both teams have to settle for field goal tries on the opening possession of the game.
Trying to hit the slant route right here, and credit number 6 TJ McCollum, team captain, linebacker, did not play in the first matchup between these 2 teams. Great play there to again force a field goal. Two red zone defensive stands here for both of these teams.
Jonathan Barnes from 25 yards to get Louisiana Tech on the board, and we're tied at 3 about 5 minutes into the game. ConfUSA Championship game here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 3-3. Tied at 3 early on in the ConfUSA Championship game. There are a handful of bowl games in play for both these teams. So we saw Louisiana Tech not kick it to Kylan Towner the first time. Towner's got a kick return for a touchdown. They try to kick it short again, but they're going to pitch it to Towner wisely. And Towner hit at the 20-yard line, and then finally wrapped up at the 25.
I brought the weather in the booth, though. That's not changing.
It's supposed to get to 50. I don't think we're going to get there, though. It's been in the mid-30s. Moving around in the pocket is White. Another deep throw. This one's caught. Norris gets away from a defender inside the 15-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds by Xavier Woods. That's a gain of 42 yards.
I really like how Mike White navigates the pocket here. Keeps his eyes downfield, feels the rush, doesn't look at the rush, gets a late one over the middle of the field there. Number 15, Cam McKnight. Very impressive move after the catch. And now you get to the perimeter, get some yards after that catch.
Norris over 1,000 yards receiving in the season. 13 receiving touchdowns, also as a rushing score. Senior from Miami, Florida. They're going to hand it off to Wales here. Nowhere to go. Brought down at the 15-yard line, right around the line of scrimmage by Aaron Brown.
So far, these defenses for both Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky holding up to this point. Once that field gets condensed, Dave, you don't have all this space that these offenses become so accustomed to being able to utilize. Those windows closed, got to get tight throws in there, and now you want to try and run the football if you can.
Yeah, it's not about red zone with these two teams. It's about big plays. We saw a 79-yard catch and run by Louisiana Tech, but they couldn't pay it off once they got in the red zone. Had to settle for a field goal. Here's Wales again, getting outside and heading for the end zone. Touchdown. 21 rushing touchdowns for Anthony Wales.
You know, Jeff Brom, the head coach, he mentioned with Wales, he doesn't always look like he's running that fast, doesn't always look like he's that explosive. Looks like he's running on clouds, really light on his feet, but he makes plays. He's been very reliable. He protects and secures the football, and credit the offensive line right there for securing the edge for Western Kentucky.
Simcox with the extra point. Anthony Wales, one of several with Louisville, Kentucky connections in this game. Of course, the head coach, Jeff Brom, played at Louisville. Anthony Wales, a senior from Louisville, gives Western Kentucky a 10-3 lead midway through the first quarter. Western Kentucky's only been in the FBS for 8 years. When Jack Harbaugh was the coach, they were then a 1AA school. They won the national championship in 2002. 3 10-win seasons for Harbaugh. Of course, his sons Jim and John coaching in Michigan and the Baltimore Ravens respectively. Be interesting to see with regard to Michigan after Washington's convincing win last night, if they are in the driver's seat, the Huskies, for that number 4 playoff spot. Of course, Clemson still has to play tonight in the ACC championship game, which we'll have on ABC. Louisiana Tech takes over on its 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Ryan Higgins to the air, throws to the sideline, and out near the 25-yard line is Cam McKnight for a gain of about 3. Louisiana Tech 8-4, 6-2. They won the division back on November 12th, and it looked for a while, and Skip Holtz's team would end up hosting this championship game, but then they lost last week to Southern Miss, ending a 7-game win streak, and now they're on the road trying to win a title.
Ryan Higgins, 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and again, 3 of those came just last week, so he's got to get back on track here on the road today.
And Higgins in trouble, wrapped up and sacked. Keith Brown, we talked about the connections with Louisville. Keith Brown played at Louisville, then transferred. He's number 2 in tackles in ConfUSA, and now has 5 sacks on the season.
Looked like they were trying to set up a quarterback draw there out of the empty set, and just a really well-disciplined play and good tackle for Western Kentucky.
Higgins to the air, and it's broken up and nearly intercepted. That was a terrific play by T.J. McCollum, who had the strip on the goal line earlier. to keep Louisiana Tech from getting a touchdown.
Really good zone drop and awareness here. As you see from McCollum, number 6, gets those big long arms out there. And listen, again, one of 2 starters did not play against Louisiana Tech the first time for Western Kentucky's defense. As we take a look at Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator. I tell you, Dave, he's a fiery guy.
Oh, yeah, we saw him getting into it with the players before. Again, he was getting into it with Quint yesterday. As that, my goodness, was a bad punt. He was rolling to his right, and that thing went dead left by Logan McPherson, the punter. And it did go 38 yards. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Here's a pitch to Wales running right, tripped up at the 43-yard line. And remember when Brian Brom was coming out of high school, he was a big-time recruit, and we were talking with him yesterday about how he likes coaching. He was in the NFL for a while as a player in the CFL. And he said he actually went back to when he was being recruited by Philip Fulmer and some of the big names in college football about how to sell a player at a school, and he's used some of those techniques as that goes right to the defender. This is going to be a touchdown. A pick 6 for Snead. Louisiana Tech with a chance to tie the game. But Jarius Snead with the easy interception of White and takes it back.
48 yards on that return, Dave. And again, we talked about this, that soft coverage on the perimeter. You're going to pull up and throw that hitch. Pull up and throw that hitch. Next thing you know, these corners now, they didn't take stupid pills. They're buying in. They're keeping their eyes on that quarterback. Really good job by Snead there on the perimeter to jump in front of that play. And Mike White's going to wish he had that one back. He predetermined the decision as you see him talking to head coach Jeff Brom.
It's only his 6th interception of the season, but it's a big one. A huge momentum shift. And then Barnes puts it through to tie the game at 10.
Turnovers haunted Western Kentucky the first time out in their loss. This time in the rematch here in the ConfUSA Championship game. Louisiana Tech with the first touchdown on the board. 10-10, a defensive touchdown for the Bulldogs.
And with the Western Michigan winning yesterday, I don't know about you, Lugs, but I think they're going to get into the Cotton Bowl as that group of 5 highest ranked champion, even if Navy were to win today because of the 2 losses Navy has. Granted, it wasn't the greatest performance this year by the Broncos, but they got it done.
They've gotten it done, and they've done it in exciting fashion with a lot of exposure around the program, and I think that's carried some weight for them as well.
This will be a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. And it's play action pass. White setting up, got an open man, and it's pulled in inside the 30-yard line by Norris. Out of bounds at the 28, picking up 21 yards.
Well, this is a little bit of a long developing play on the corner route. Number 23, Prince Sam, loses his footing here. He may have intercepted that ball. Nicholas Norris with 2 big catches on the day so far for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
3rd time that Western has been inside the Louisiana Tech 30-yard line.
Good to see Mike White get some confidence back, get the ball out of his hand and brush off that last interception for a touchdown.
He averages 300 yards passing per game. He's already at 100. They run Wales off the left side, and not much there, maybe 2 yards. Tripped up by Matthew Idarga. 12th ConfUSA Championship game. The home team is 8-3 in this game, including 4 straight wins. This game taking place at Houchin Smith Stadium in Bowling Green. Seats about 22,000. Play fake. White steps up, slings to the end zone. Incomplete. There were 2 offensive players in the same space. Norris and Johnson.
Yeah, Shaquille Johnson, number 18, the tight end. He was the one player that looked to be out of place there. Norris down the hash was in place, and it looked like both players were surprised to see the ball coming their way.
Western Kentucky in the top 20 in 3rd down offense nationally. They're going to run it here on 3rd and 8. And Wales gets the first down and more. Dives for the pylon. And no signal yet. Now they do. His 2nd touchdown already. 22nd on the year.
Let's see if he stays in with the extension to the pylon. It appears that he does with that look. That's 2 touchdowns for Wales. Same corner, same end zone here in the first quarter.
Well, we said we'd have offense in this game, and so far neither team has disappointed. We also have a defensive touchdown. Western back on top by 7. Alex Ranella kicking off from the 20-yard line. And here's Carlos Henderson on the run. We talked about it being a dynamic return man, but he can't get away from the first guy down there at the 37-yard line. Pass play here, and that one looked like it bounced in there, but no, they're saying Bonnet caught it at the 45-yard line. Wow, he got his hands under it. What a great catch.
What a fantastic effort. Good eyeballs on behalf of the head linesman.
First down for the Bulldogs on the 21. And the pass is pulled in by Taylor. Steps out about a yard short of the line to gain. Taylor had 1 scholarship offer, and it was Louisiana Tech. He's 5'8", 178 pounds from Shreveport.
Everybody wants to have a guy like him on their roster.
Here's Scott, big hole up the middle, gets the first down. It'll be first and goal from the 6. La Tech going up tempo. Quick throw to Henderson, makes a move and finds Pater. Touchdown, Louisiana Tech. 17 receiving touchdowns for Carlos Henderson.
Don't you want to be a defensive coordinator right now, Dave?
Boy, as stressed out as Nick Holt looked, the Western Kentucky D coordinator, when we talked to him yesterday. Somebody's got to do it, but it's not an easy chore in this day and age in college football to be a D coordinator against some of these offenses.
We've said from the moment we came on air, the quick screen to the perimeter and the ability to tackle in space will define both of these teams on defense. Quinn, both of these teams have mastered this portion of the passing game, so much so that they've created practice opportunities in periods to just work on this.
Yeah, and what stands out there is the Western Kentucky Hilltopper defenders were walking off the field upset, yelling out, "We need the call, we need the call." So Nick Holt's got to be a genius, and a quick genius too. He's got to make calls within 2 or 3 seconds when they go up tempo.
Again, Western trying to keep it away from Towner, so they kick it short, but then Towner gets it on the pitch. He's past the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. He was demonstrating with our Quinn Kesnick yesterday how to avoid the cut blocks on defense by Louisiana Tech. Open receiver, it's pulled into the 30-yard line by Taylor, down the sideline and pushed out inside the 10.
And here we go. This one took a little bit to develop, but really good throw, nice and smooth. You see on the inside release there for number 2, Taiwan Taylor, as he makes the deep over orbit route, as a lot of offenses refer to that. And that's just a really well-thrown, catchable ball, throwing Taiwan Taylor, number 2, open. And again, explosive plays aplenty. Both of these teams, Dave, rank in the top 5 nationally, not just in ConfUSA, top 5 nationally in plays of 20 yards or more. That's a nightmare on defense.
Final play of the first quarter, and then dumping it off to Wales, who's going to get to the end zone for another touchdown. That is 3 already for Anthony Wales. 2 on the ground, 1 through the air.
Big Red sure likes it. Apparently, Dave, Anthony Wales is only allowed to score within a 6-inch diameter of the pylon in that end zone.
He's got 24 total touchdowns on the season, and we've had 40 points scored in a quarter. 24-17. Western Kentucky leads Louisiana Tech after 1 quarter. Welcome back to the Dynacraft Conference USA Football Championship game on ESPN, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. 400 yards and 41 points, the second highest scoring quarter in FBS this season. Florida State and South Florida at a 42-point quarter earlier this season.
Did you really expect anything less, Dave?
No, that's about what I thought.
Me too.
And Western Kentucky now kicking it deep. Here's Carlos Henderson from the 10-yard line. Checked it out for Smith, the return man, and he doesn't make it to the 25. Wrapped up on the 20-yard line as we hand off on first down. No running room for Henderson. He'll lose a couple on the play as we check in with Quinn.
Yeah, Cedric Cooper is going to be carted off here in a moment. He is coherent, but he is. The doctors have been looking at his neck. There are no signs of any kind of pain in his extremities. So they're going to be taking him to the locker room and potentially for some x-rays or further evaluation of his neck.
So that's another defensive player that Skip Holtz has lost now. Jordan Harris and Dalton Santos, two linebackers, suspended for this game for academics as well. Stepping up, delivering to Henderson, trying to get to the marker, reversing field, and there he goes. Henderson past the 40, stays in bounds. And they finally catch up to him at the 38-yard line of Western Kentucky.
Well, you look at Corey Henderson, good move, settles in the open spot, one missed tackle there, another tackle there. Number 6, TJ McCollum has a beeline on him. And Carlos Henderson just absolutely electrifying in the open field. Wow.
So he's got 136 yards in this game. He had 232 in the previous meeting with Western Kentucky. We played just over a quarter. And that wasn't working from the get-go. They're trying to hit Trent Taylor in that wide receiver screen. And the defense was all over it. Omarius Bryant was there, just pushed an offensive player back into the receiver. Overstreet there as well for Western.
Really got to pick your poison, whether it's Carlos Henderson, number 1, number 5, Trent Taylor, and then they've got some supplemental weapons around those guys. A lot to handle defensively.
Play fake. Higgins setting up, fires high, but it's caught. Down near the 20-yard line is Connor Smith, only his 8th catch of the season, but it gives Louisiana Tech a first down and a gain of 22.
Connor Smith, number 9, goes up and secures this football, knows he's going to take a shot. Just good, sure-handed pass catchers for this Louisiana Tech Bulldog club.
Roll to the left, throw to the left, and the catch made by Bonnet. He stepped out, and let's see where they mark him. He's short of the line to gain by a couple of yards. Man, there's just so many open receivers. We really haven't seen many throws into tight windows. There are receivers running free on both offenses just about every play.
Yeah, and Western Kentucky in the first quarter alone had 4 plays of 20 yards or more.
They fake the pitch, and the quarterback Higgins gets the first down to the 10-yard line. So it'll be first and goal for Louisiana Tech. Looking to tie the game here. Joel E.A. Booniway made the tackle.
There you go. Interesting. Really no semblance of a run game now for the second week in a row, and most productive run that Louisiana Tech's had to this point is with their quarterback on the speed option.
Go empty here from the 10 on first and goal. Higgins with a quick throw to Taylor, and he's down near the 5-yard line.
What Higgins does really well with these bubbles is he puts it out in front of the receiver, allows him to catch it in stride, and they waste no time between the catch and the running motion. It's right on the chest of Trent Taylor, and he's able to catch it and move upfield seamlessly.
Taylor, the all-time leader at Louisiana Tech in receptions and receiving touchdowns. He has 307 career catches, 116 on the season. Second and goal for the Bulldogs. They go with 4 men to the bottom of your screen. They're going to throw it that way and get some blockers out there for Kraft. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. Set up beautifully and executed beautifully by Louisiana Tech.
What a great effort by number 5. Trent Taylor, he makes a block on the inside and just chops down the Western Kentucky defender. As you see him going in, right there, ball right down on the ground there for number 5. And listen, he's not just catching footballs. This guy's making things happen on the perimeter for other teammates. Again, so difficult to defend that short passing game.
Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech tied at 24. In fact, Louisiana Tech has more points than plays run. They've run 22 plays. Western Kentucky's run 25 plays. And now it's the Hilltoppers' turn. And again, they will pitch it to Towner to get it in his hands. And Towner gets to the 28-yard line. First down for Western Kentucky. Off play action. They set up the screen. And loose is Wales at the 45-yard line at the 50. And out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Of course, we have so many colleagues at ESPN that have been battling cancer this year. Our own Holly Rowe and also Rod Gilmore. And Quint, you work with Rod every week. What's it been like this year to watch him go through this? And how inspirational has he been to you?
You know, he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma last summer, and during this entire season, he was going into the hospital 3 days a week for treatment. You know, never had any complaints, and really kind of showed me the true meaning of the word toughness.
Deep ball that's on the money, another touchdown. Taywan Taylor. Can anybody stop anybody? Past the hot tea and lemon, 30-24.
Is that a rhetorical question? See number 2, Taywan Taylor there on the out and up, turns on the speed cut. And that's why they call it a game of inches. Safety comes over late over the top for Louisiana Tech and just not able to get there. Taylor, after an early first quarter drop, has responded, and so has Mike White after throwing a pick 6 in the first quarter as well.
There's 10 minutes remaining in the first half, and they have scored 55 points. Western Kentucky comes right back with a touchdown pass to retake the lead. But don't go away, because Louisiana Tech's going to get the ball back and probably score in the next 2 minutes. Some notable Louisiana Tech quarterbacks. The first guy was Phil Robertson. More on him in a minute. You probably heard of him. Of course, Terry Bradshaw threw for 4,400 yards. Tim Rattay, who threw for over 12,000 yards and 115 touchdowns. He's the quarterback's coach now at Louisiana Tech. Luke McCown, who still in the National Football League, played at Louisiana Tech as a QB.
You see Tim Rattay, originally hired by Skip Holtz as the receivers coach, and when they had a change on their staff, Coach Holtz said it was a no-brainer. First call I made was right over to Tim saying, hey, you're moving to quarterbacks.
Alfred Smith waiting for it. Muffs it on the 4. Has trouble picking it up. It's still loose at the 10-yard line. Hard to tell if Smith got it back. There were a couple of Western Kentucky players that jumped in there. So Louisiana Tech will take over on the 9-yard line. Wide open is Taylor in the middle of the field. And he's to the 48-yard line. He says that he landed on a player, but they rule him down. It's a 39-yard pickup.
So the number 3 receiver out of the slot right there. After he gets off of the initial push at the line of scrimmage, there's nobody in the middle of the field for Ryan Higgins to have to worry about to drive that ball on the seam route.
He may have had a point. I'm not sure he was down. Doesn't matter now. First down for the 36. Back to throw again goes Higgins. Pumping, firing, and it's caught inside the 25 by Henderson. First down. Run play to Kraft straight ahead. He's to the 19-yard line, picking up 4 yards.
The thing that's so tough about playing defense at the group of 5 level in a conference like ConfUSA is you don't have the dominant factors in the bodies in the trenches, particularly within your defensive front 7, to get people off schedule. So it puts so much pressure on your back end, Dave.
And they're going to throw it on the flat, but it's knocked down, incomplete. Ruled a forward pass. Keith Brown tipped it. Well, you mentioned we've seen Clemson twice. They beat Syracuse 54-0. That was nothing compared to what Pitt did to them. Although Syracuse did score 61, but they gave up 76. The most points scored in a single game. That was last weekend. Now, they scored in that game 56 points in the first half. These two teams have 55 in the first half. So we got a ways to go to get into Clemson-Syracuse territory, or Pitt-Syracuse, I should say. That pass juggled by Taylor, and he did not come up with an incomplete. So it's 4th and 6, and finally someone is stopped offensively.
We'll make a note of that because that's going to be one of the few drops or inability to haul a ball, and that wasn't an easy catch that you'll see for number 5, Trent Taylor, and finally a stop on defense for Western Kentucky. A red zone stop, which we have not seen since the first 2 series of the first quarter.
Actually made the catch, but then when he went out of bounds, he did lose control. Jonathan Barnes made a 25-yard attempt earlier. This will be a 36-yard field goal try. So it's 31-27 midway through the second quarter. Here it's 31-27. Western Kentucky in front, and again they squib it and pitch it to Towner. This happened on just about every kickoff, and that's why they want to keep it away from Towner. He's inside the 40, past the 30, and pushed out of bounds. Nolan Lewis saves a touchdown, but what a great return by Towner.
You always hear the term, get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. Well, that doesn't just apply on offense. Now, see 87, Stevie Donatel right there, pitches it back to Towner. Great idea, but then you're also going to see 87 get back in the screen there. He chooses to block the wrong guy. And so what a great return, great field position, another explosive play. I believe that's the 11th play now of more than 20 yards that these two teams have combined for here midway through the second quarter.
1st and 10 on the 23 of Louisiana Tech. A pitch to Anthony Wales, already scored 3 times in this game, and he's down to the 14 near the first down. They're getting 8-9 yards of pop on the ground in this game. Yeah,
Louisiana Tech head coach Skip Holtz and kicker Jonathan Barnes just had an extended 45-second conversation about that directional kickoff. Coach not happy with the fact that the ball went directly to one of the upmen.
Here's Wales again, picking a hole close to a first down. Although, what do you do? I mean, you can't kick it out of bounds. You can't kick it right to him, so you don't have a lot of options.
No, but you can kick some elevation and some depth. And I think what Coach Holtz is referencing there is you don't give your cover team any chance when you have such a low trajectory, regardless of what direction or what area of the field you want to place the ball.
First and 10 on the 13-yard line. They go back to Wales trying to get outside, and he's out of bounds inside the 10. Tripped up by Demarion King after a gain of about 5.
Both of these teams have been at will able to do what they want when they want. The difference has been Western Kentucky's ability to run the football on any given down and be very productive winning the battle in the trenches. We talked about Forrest Lamp, the left tackle, an NFL prospect as a guard. He has been really sharp today, and it's been great balance for the Hilltoppers.
Wales grabbed at the ankles, good balance, but he's down after a gain of 2. Jalen Ferguson, first time we've called his name. He is a terrific pass rusher, 14.5 sacks, but with Western Kentucky snapping it and Mike White getting it out of his hands so quickly, Ferguson doesn't even have a chance. It's almost like what he does has totally been negated in this game because of the way Western played.
Well, it has been in the run game. You run right at him and negate some of that speed and quickness off the line of scrimmage.
Big third down here, and it's a shovel pass. Wales close to the first down at the 3-yard line. Brandon Derman, who's in for Jordan Harris and Dalton Santos, who are both suspended for this game for academics, made the hit. And he appears to be short. 4th down. And Western Kentucky, nope, they're going to say it is a first down now. So a fresh set of downs inside the 3-yard line.
And without a measurement.
Western Kentucky going big personnel now. 2 tight ends and a fullback.
No, Quint, I would have been in favor of him going for it right there. You've got a field position advantage as well as points. advantage and line up the big boys here.
And good job there up front by Louisiana Tech as they take down Wales for a loss. King and Derman in there for Louisiana Tech. Nearing 5 minutes to go. It's been the longest drive of the game. And they started on the 22-yard line because of that great kickoff. They've just been running the ball in this possession here in the red zone.
Yeah, methodical, very disciplined offensive series here from Jeff Brom.
Longest drive in terms of time elapsing. Here's a fade to the end zone that's on the money. Touchdown. Taywan Taylor with another one.
Line up your best player on the perimeter. Great quickness and move off the line of scrimmage that creates that separation in an area for Mike White to deliver this football, and it could not have been thrown better. Secure the football and a touchdown and yet more points.
So that's 3 touchdown passes for White and 2 on the day for Taylor. And the point after makes it 38-27. It took 2 hours, but the first half is complete. Western Kentucky 38, Louisiana Tech 27. We still have a half to go. Stay tuned for an interview. Quint and Jeff Brom. Now we go back to the studio. Whew. And welcome back to the Dynacraft Conference USA Football Championship game on ESPN. From Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers in front 38-27 over Louisiana Tech. Western Kentucky trying to win its 2nd straight Conference USA Championship. The last time they won back-to-back conference titles, 1970 and 71. We've had 16 drives, only 2 punts. There was a defensive score by Louisiana Tech, and they've combined for over 700 yards. Dave Pash, Tom Luganville, Quint Kesnick will rejoin us in a minute. And Tom, I know that we felt this would be a high-scoring game, but I don't know that either of us thought it would get to 65 points and 700 yards through one half.
Yeah, not much resistance on the defensive side of the football. One of the main reasons why is there's no way to disrupt the timing of the flow of the receivers. You see the token fake in the backfield there for Western Kentucky. They've run the ball just effective enough to get those defenders to come upfield, but then there's no press coverage. Nobody's disrupting the routes or trying to reroute, get these receivers off target. So they're able to just use the field and the space to their advantage. You see the post wheel route concept here to Taylor down the sideline, which leads to another touchdown, but they have not been able to disrupt this offense. And I think they're going to have to come up with some change-ups, take some risks, and get into the face of these receivers to make Mike White, the quarterback at Western Kentucky, hold on to it just a bit.
Louisiana Tech will start on offense. Here is Scott past the 30-yard line and near the 35 as we bring in Quint Kesnick.
I asked Skip Holtz what his biggest challenge as a play caller in this game is, and he said it's just been communication on the offensive line. They had momentarily, he said there were 2 times that communication wasn't good and it cost them pressure on their quarterback. Defensively, though, that's the real issue here. He said, you know, if we go man, we've had problems running with them. We can't cover them. So we've gone 3 deep zone, and too often our safeties and corners have not executed both fundamentals and the scheme. He added that he thinks the run offense of Western Kentucky is what's made the big difference in this game.
Blake Baker, the D coordinator for La Tech. 2nd time in 3 years Louisiana Tech has been in the Conference USA title game. Lost to Marshall 2 seasons ago. And the catch is made by Alfred Smith, and it's a first down. How about this, Tom? The average yards per play on first down, Louisiana Tech 11, Western Kentucky 12. So basically every time they're running a first down play, they're getting another first down. Play fake. Long throw. Catch is made, and another first down. Carlos Henderson. Brought down by Joe Brown.
And yet another 11 yards.
Henderson has over 150 receiving yards now, including a touchdown. In trouble, and down goes Higgins. First guy there was Iye Buniwe, cleaned up by Derek Overstreet, so they get pressure on the quarterback that time.
One of the challenges when trying to pressure a team like Louisiana Tech or Western Kentucky for that matter, when they get the ball out so quick, if you're going to be a shotgun-based team and you want to pressure somebody, you can't disguise it. You're going to have to tip your hand on where it's coming from, which now gives a clean read to the quarterback and can lead to more explosive plays.
Higgins to the air again. The pass is batted in the air, incomplete. Nick Dawson-Brents, a transfer from Louisville, got his paws up and batted it down.
Now the difference between these two teams, and I like this, you can't rush the passer, you can't get there, stop and get your hands up, try and disrupt the throwing lane for the quarterback. But this has been one of the differences between Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky today. Average yards to gain on third down is over 11 yards for this Louisiana Tech offense, so they have not been as advantageous of getting ahead of the chains on first and second down as Western Kentucky has been, as we see another 3rd and long here.
And La Tech yet to convert on third down today. 0 for 4. This is 3rd and 15. The play clock at 1. Pressure off the edge. Higgins gets out of there. Looks downfield. Oh my goodness. Wide open touchdown, Cam McKnight. What happened defensively for Western Kentucky on 3rd and forever? Cam McKnight just coasting downfield with no red shirts around him.
You see the ability to extend the play here, and they lose 15. McKnight right in the middle of the field there. Eyes are in the backfield on the quarterback, and nobody's keeping sight of a streaking Cam McKnight, number 15 for Louisiana Tech. That's just poor fundamentals on the back end on 3rd and 20. How do you not stay deep as the deepest?
Barnes extra point, and Louisiana Tech is back within 4.
What an offensive showing we've got so far. Louisiana Tech on 3rd and 20, right back in it here from Bowling Green.
Welcome back to the Dynacraft ConfUSA Football Championship game on ESPN, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. On 3rd and 20, McKnight running free. It's an easy touchdown catch. And now a pooch kick that's muffed, and the ball is free. Louisiana Tech had a chance to recover it initially, and they got it. The Bulldogs get it at the 29-yard line. That finally worked. They kept kicking it short to one of the up men, and finally a mistake was made. It's recovered by Roland Dunn as Shaquille Johnson, who dropped a touchdown at the end of the first half, now muffs a kickoff that leads to a turnover.
Well, when you do kick the ball to the up back, somebody that's not generally well versed in fielding punts and kickoffs, you're due to get one of these every now and then. And the coverage effort for Louisiana Tech, see the offense on the sideline, whoa, hey, we're back in this thing, and with great field position. So I go back to the end of the second quarter, Dave. You've got great field position on offense if you're Western Kentucky. You not only don't come away with a field goal, you don't come away with a touchdown. Louisiana Tech gets the ball to open the third quarter, and lo and behold, here we sit.
Looking to take the lead. Early third quarter. Higgins' pass is pulled in, and it's another first down. Trent Taylor made the catch.
Now the mental challenge for this Hilltopper defense. I mean, demoralized with a capital D. Your head coach, Jeff Fromm, going after you pretty good. Joe Brown, Brandon Leston, and then Nick Holt just delivering a tongue lashing on the sideline. Sudden change, you're back out there. Not much good going their way right now.
This really is embarrassing defensively for both teams. I know that we started by talking about how prolific the offenses are, but defensively, just no excuse for the mental errors we've seen in the guys running free on both sides. First set of downs inside the 18 of Western Kentucky. Higgins pumps, going to go to the end zone, and it's too high, incomplete. Tried to hit Alfred Smith.
Pretty good coverage on the perimeter there, but again, no ability to rush the passer for either of these two teams. Western Kentucky's had a couple of moments here and there where they've put Louisiana Tech behind the chains, but we're wondering why there's guys running wide open or there's a lot of plays being made in space. You can't disrupt the flow of the offense because you're not unable to rush the passer within the defensive front seven.
Higgins finds the open man. It's Smith who stays in bounds and gets the first down. He's out to the 6-yard line. Keep in mind, Western Kentucky missed that 21-yard field goal at the end of the first half. You mentioned at the time that that could be a costly miss. As Louisiana Tech goes up tempo here, going to try to get the play off before Western can get lined up. Powering forward is Kraft, and he's near the 2. Second and goal for La Tech here. They got a chance maybe to punch it in here on the ground. Take the lead. Kraft is back there. And the quarterback keeps running behind Kraft. And Higgins comes up short. Omarius Bryant made the tackle. So it's third down and goal.
I would have taken a shot throwing the football on that down right there. And now you're in a position where, do you feel confident enough running the football? That's not been your strength. You've had no balance in this offense to this point today. I put the ball in the hands of the perimeter weapons, and they're going to be in a jumbo big set here. 3 tailbacks in the backfield.
Swing pass. Kraft powers to the goal line, and they rule him out of bounds at the half-yard line. Leston made the touchdown saving tackle, so now it is 4th and goal.
A lot of football to be played here, Dave, and now that you're back in it, the momentum has swung. I'm not so sure you don't kick the field goal.
They're going to go for the touchdown. The ball is just outside the end zone. They get it to the line quickly here. Higgins snaps it, hands it off to Cam McKnight. He's in. Touchdown. So the wide receiver lined up as a tailback scores to give Louisiana Tech the lead. Boy, defense appeared to be lined up in the neutral zone. No flag. It didn't matter as McKnight got in.
And that's a great individual effort there by McKnight, because he was met in the backfield a couple of yards deep and powers his way over the goal line.
7th rushing touchdown this season for McKnight. Barnes nails the point after. Louisiana Tech 41, Western Kentucky 38 early third quarter. The Hilltoppers trail for the first time in this game, 41-38. And again, they're going to kick it short this time. Towner runs up to make the play, and he's past the 30-yard line. You think about Oklahoma. We did Oklahoma-Houston week 1. If they would have won that game, they would be in the thick of the playoff conversation with their only loss against Ohio State.
That's been a killer for them. Every time they've had a season with an off season of expectations, they haven't been able to meet them.
Run play on first down, not much. Wales is bottled up. Aaron Brown in there for Louisiana Tech. And that is a rare play for either team on first down. Forget going 8 or 9 yards. I mean, they've been averaging, both teams, 11, 12 yards on first down. That one only went for 1. They hand it off on the jet sweep this time to Norris, and he gets the first down and more. Norris finally tracked down at the 39-yard line by Xavier Woods.
Well, they got on the perimeter so fast, and the next thing you know, you're out there in space with a one-on-one block in front of you, and really nice job right there by Nicholas Norris to read the block and then accelerate, get down to the sideline, get out of bounds, and once again, great field position plus territory for Western Kentucky.
27-yard scamper that time. Dump-off pass to Wales to the 15-yard line, picks up just 2.
Chris Peterson at Washington now was one of the few Boise coaches that made sure that if you're going to make that jump, make it for the right job at a place where you've got the resources, you've got the infrastructure, the administrative support to actually be great in football, to have all of the things that you have to have academically, athletically, socially for your program and your kids to thrive. And unfortunately, not everybody has that. So Jeff Baum's time is going to come at some point. and he'll have to make those decisions for his family, but also for the betterment of winning. Can you win?
Straight ahead Wales down to the 10-yard line. And there's still a handful of jobs available. Obviously Tom Herman going to Texas. That's the biggest news. And then the timing by LSU. Right. Orgeron elevated from interim to permanent head coach, and they did that last weekend when they really didn't have to. And so now Oregon and Houston. There was just a report today that Houston will not interview Art Briles. There was some talk that they would, but now they are saying they will not give Art Briles an interview. Briles coached there before. 3rd and 4 here for Western Kentucky. And it's dropped at the 3-yard line by Norris. Would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th and 4. And they're going to bring on the field goal team to try and tie the game.
Not an overly well-thrown ball, but this was certainly a football that these talented receivers here at Western Kentucky should catch. Nicholas Norris right there, and you see Jeff Brom on the sideline. Not happy with his quarterback. See how he's get the ball up. What he's saying to his quarterback, Mike White, there. And you're going to throw the ball to the sideline on the out route. You better get it to the sideline where your player has a clean shot at catching the football.
Now, the last time we saw Simcox, he missed the 21-yard field goal. But he nails this 28-yarder. Had the better angle here, too. And we are tied at 41, our 5th tie of the game.
You see the 19 drives here, Dave. 868 combined yards. These two teams, the last time they played, held just under 1,000.
And this is the highest scoring ConfUSA Championship game in history. And we still have 5:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. To be a touchback, Louisiana Tech will start on the 25. As this pass is over the middle, incomplete. That if Alabama were to play Michigan, that's a better game than Alabama against Washington, and you know the committee will consider that. But I really think the committee is going to go with Washington after last night.
I agree with you. That the one thing I will say, USC going to Washington just a few weeks ago, USC right now is playing the best in the Pac-12.
Well, not only are they playing the best in the Pac-12, I had them at 6 there. I think they're playing as good, if not better, than anybody out of the top 4. I really believe that. I'd take SC. I'd put them up against anybody outside of that top 4 and feel really good about that matchup. So it'll be interesting to see what the committee does. I know one thing. If you think the eye test and who you feel matches up best doesn't come into play, it does.
On 2nd down, the pass is Aaron trying to hit Carlos Henderson. Now, you have Clemson ahead of Ohio State. I have Ohio State ahead of Clemson. Now, in the end, it's really not going to matter because they're going to play each other if Clemson wins tonight. You would think. So why do you have Clemson at number 2?
I think they're playing cleaner football. They're a more experienced football team at the positions that matter. They're deeper and I think more disruptive within their defensive front 4, particularly on the interior with some of the people that they can move around. And listen, Deshaun Watson is special. He's not good. He is special. I think they match up well with anybody they play.
Clemson plays tonight on ABC. ACC Championship game against Virginia Tech as Higgins is sacked by Dawson Brent to force a rare punt.
3 punts. There we go. See a 4-man front, but it looked like it was going to start off as a 3-man rush. And Louisiana Tech struggled at least early to identify who was coming and from where. Ryan Higgins just holds onto the ball too long.
5 sacks for Western Kentucky in this game. McPherson. Oy. Bad punt. Let's see where they spot it. I don't even know if the officials can figure out where to spot it. Where did it cross out of bounds? They're going to say at the 40-yard line. So that's a 22-yard punt and excellent field position for Western Kentucky when we come back.
Well, I guess Kentucky's out. No longer a chance at the national championship.
You clearly haven't watched basketball much. I know you're just grinding football tape constantly. Another wide open receiver. It is Taywan Taylor to the 15-yard line. He came in number 7 in the country in receiving yards at just under 1,400. And he's got a $148 in this game along with 2 touchdowns.
Well, he shook off that first quarter drop on what would have been a touchdown and has responded with a fantastic effort here today.
Taylor will play in the Senior Bowl for Western Kentucky. Second straight year he's been a semifinalist for the Bolitnikoff Award. And he breaks his own school record for receiving yards, which he set last year. Wales running left, and he keeps his feet and scores his 4th overall touchdown. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Just a quick toss to the boundary and a really nice job on the perimeter and within that offensive front. See number 11 there, Lucky Jackson, coming in on the crackback block, doing a good job sealing the edge, allowing Wales to get around that corner. That's been his favorite pylon of the day.
So after Louisiana Tech led briefly, Western Kentucky ties the game with a field goal and then scores a touchdown quickly to go up 48-41. And you can make the case that no one has gone toe-to-toe with Alabama the last 3 years like Clemson has, even though they lost in the regular season last year to Ole Miss, as the return man Scott is out to the 21. Western Kentucky trying to win the ConfUSA Championship game for the 2nd straight year. The last repeat champ was East Carolina, coached by Skip Holtz, who's now the head man at Louisiana Tech. That was in 2008-2009. Higgins takes off and gets creamed by Keith Brown at the 27-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and long here. 2nd and 17.
No, it's only 2nd down, but if you're Skip Holtz, the way you've been performing in the punt game, you need to convert this.
Yeah, Logan McPherson, the punters, had a rough day. 3 punts and none of them have been good. Higgins, long pass again, and another great grab by Henderson near the 1st down marker. Wow. He's going to come up just short. He had 2 defenders on him, and he still concentrated long enough to make that grab 16 yards.
Terrific focus. You see him elevate and extend above his head at the highest point. Really, there's only one person there that can catch that football, and it's Carlos Henderson.
8 catches, 188 yards, and a touchdown. He's been targeted 13 times. They run the ball and get the 1st down with Boston Scott. He's to midfield. Picks up 7 on 3rd and a yard.
Well, that's just got to drive Nick Holt, the defensive coordinator at Western Kentucky, absolutely nuts. You get them backed up on a 2nd and 14. Nice throw to the sideline. And then you run the football and convert. And again, I talk about field position and avoiding punting the football if you're Louisiana Tech. Now you're at midfield in good shape offensively.
And they're back in the positive with rushing yards. They've had some sacks as well. Here's Connor Smith getting the 1st down to the 37-yard line. Another 13 yards on 1st down.
Leverick Johnson, number 29, the defender in the flat there, just giving way too much cushion. They know that bubble screen's going to leak out there. It's a slant bubble concept. You've got the slant covered. You're sinking too deep and not coming up and playing the bubble screen there to number 9, Connor Smith.
Look at that, 284 yards on 1st down. There's some teams that don't get 284 for an entire game. They're getting it on 1 down. Higgins hangs in there. His pass is batted down. Gardner broke it up. It was intended for Taylor. 2nd and 10. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. 2nd and 10. Louisiana Tech trying to tie the game again here. We might be in that stage of first team to get a stop wins. Overcast, chilly day, temperature around 40 here in Bowling Green. Another on-target throw to Carlos Henderson for a 1st down inside the 15-yard line.
And credit Ryan Higgins, the quarterback here for Louisiana Tech. He knows he's going to take a shot. He's got Keith Brown, number 2, coming through into his kitchen and drives the ball on the dig route. Really impressed with Ryan Higgins there.
We have played 3 quarters in the ConfUSA Championship game, and it's Western Kentucky leading by 7 as we go to the 4th. These teams combining for almost 1,000 yards, despite the fact Louisiana Tech has 1 rushing yard. Bulldogs looking to tie the game. They have a 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Here's a pass into the end zone, and it is knocked away, incomplete. Alfred Smith, the intended receiver. Simmons in coverage. These two teams met 2 months ago in Ruston. Louisiana Tech won that game 55-52. You look at the total yards from that game, we're basically at the same spot here, although we have 15 minutes left.
Yeah. Plenty of time to eclipse those marks. You see Carlos Henderson there in front of the jet heater getting his leg worked on.
Out in space to Taylor. Darts forward to the 7-yard line. And that's a big loss for Louisiana Tech, not having Henderson down the stretch here. He's made so many big plays in this game. He has a touchdown and over 200 receiving yards. Now it's 3rd down and 3 for the Bulldogs. Higgins rolling right here. Lobs to the end zone, tipped and almost intercepted, but out of bounds. Now if you're Louisiana Tech, do you go for it on 4th down and 3? Looks like they will. No, they're going to bring on the kicking team. They thought about it. You see clearly out of bounds there on the interception attempt. Just the right move here early in the 4th. Go with the field goal.
I think so, the way this thing's been going back and forth, and you see Skip Holtz talking to his football team, and with that quarterback, that play worries me a little bit because it was reminiscent of some of the ill-advised throws that were made a week ago late in the game by Ryan Higgins. He has avoided that to this point. That's not the type of throw you want to make, particularly in the red zone.
Right. Last week he threw 3 interceptions, no touchdowns for the first time this season. He had gotten better at that early in his career, threw a lot of picks. Too eager to make plays, the coach has said. Come a long way, though. And the short field goal try is good from 24. And it's 48-44 Western Kentucky for the ConfUSA Championship game. Here's Towner on the return for Western Kentucky. Look out. He fumbles the ball. Louisiana Tech may have recovered in bounds. There's a penalty marker down. They say that Louisiana Tech did recover the ball in bounds. Elliott Blankenship, before he went out of bounds, recovered the football. Plus, it also looked like the return man, Towner, may have stepped out of bounds before he even fumbled the ball. So there's a lot going on here. Penalty marker at the 38. So let's see here if Towner does step out on the sideline. Wow, it's close.
During the return, holding by the receiving team number 19. Penalty is declined. 1st down, Louisiana Tech.
So again, it's Louisiana Tech ball. Man, I don't know. Does Blankenship recover that inbounds, Tom?
I don't know if he possesses it wholly inbounds. And let's see here if this foot on this cut.
Fumble recovered by Louisiana Tech is under review.
From that replay, it looks like Towner's inbounds, but I'm curious if Blankenship is out. Watch here.
As he secured the ball. That might be tough to overturn.
And then how about UCLA knocking off Kentucky? You know, somebody that'll be quite happy with that.
Your broadcast partner, I'm assuming.
We will not speak of his name just yet. On 1st down, big hole for Wales. Got the 1st down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 12 on the play. Boy, every time he touches the ball, he's getting a 1st down, whether it's on receptions or rushes. He's got 161 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in the game. He also has a receiving score. 53 receiving yards for the day. So it's 1st and 15 on the 37-yard line. Play action pass. And wide open in La Tech territory is Norris, all the way down to the 32-yard line. 31-yard pass play.
You see Norris here. He's going to come from underneath in the slot, the number 2 position on the over route. And that's just a bust in coverage. And we've seen quite a few of those today from both of these teams, quite honestly, on defense. And a nice job by Mike White just to slowly drift away from pressure and throw a very catchable ball.
There's just way too many guys running free for both teams on offense. Wales grabbed by Derman and brought down after a gain of about 3. And I get it, these are good offenses with good players, difficult schemes to defend, but I mean, this is just bad defense by both teams today.
And again, it goes back to what I think ultimately is some of the issues that you have with every Group of 5 conference team, and even the good ones, is you're not going to have that defensive prowess in the trenches to disrupt, create havoc, and get teams off schedule and out of rhythm.
And yet Ferguson here makes a play, though, tracking down Wales from behind after a gain of 2. So now you got 3rd and long here. If they're held to a field goal try, that would allow Louisiana Tech to score a touchdown and tie the ball game. It'll be interesting to see what Jeff Brom calls here on 3rd down and 12. Do you play conservatively, make sure you get 3, or do you take a shot?
I don't think that's in their makeup, but they have run the ball effectively throughout this game.
Play action pass. Setting up and throwing it away that time is White. And there was pressure. Derman, linebacker, rushed the passer late. And Jeff Brom probably wondering what White saw there, and I think he was just motioning to him that Derman was in his face, and so he had to throw it away. But Brom's not buying it.
He asked the question I've seen many a time. What are you seeing?
34-yard field goal try. Remember, Simcox missed a 21-yarder at the end of the first half. But he puts this one through. It's a 7-point game. 51-44. 7:19 to go. Who knows if Louisiana Tech can go down the field and score? Could have extended time.
I think the percentages are probably in their favor.
Boston Scott from the 3-yard line for Louisiana Tech. He'll take it past the 20-yard line and to the 25. Louisiana Tech, though, 1st and 10 from its 38-yard line. Off a pump fake. Higgins throws a deep ball and incomplete. Henderson couldn't hang on. Now, he does not look 100%, so you wonder if that impacted him at all, although it wasn't his hands that were hurt earlier. It was his calves.
Yeah, but when you have to accelerate to track a ball that's in the air and you're missing that little gear because you can't dig deep due to a muscle strain, it's going to affect you. Normally, with the type of player he is and the plays he makes, you'd expect Carlos Henderson to come up with that, but you can tell he's got a little hitch in his giddy-up.
Higgins back to work on 2nd down and 10, and they'll run the football here. Nowhere to go. Kraft wrapped up by Keith Brown at the line of scrimmage.
This training staff has worked feverishly on Carlos Henderson's right calf muscle since the mid stages of the 3rd quarter. In between plays, he's looked gimpy. There was some acceleration there in that last route, and his presence right now in this 3rd down is critical.
3rd and 9, Quinn. Inside 6 minutes to go from the 39-yard line. Higgins back to pass. Pass is high. Taylor was open. Overshot him. It's 4th down. They got to punt it here, don't they? 4th and 9.
Given the area of the field that they're in, yes, they're going to have to punt this football here, and it's unfortunate that you miss an open receiver like that with Trent Taylor, but that is the downside to having a Trent Taylor number 5 who's 5'8". It's not a wide catch radius for the quarterback to throw to.
So now let's see if Gerald Schaus can get off another good punt. The last one went 59 yards. The problem was he kicked it into the end zone. Kylan Towner is deep. Good punt. Towner backing up, signals, and it's fair caught around the 15. Averaging 6 yards per carry, almost 200 rushing yards. As they throw the pass here to Norris on a wide receiver screen, he gets about 7 yards.
Don't be surprised, Dave, if the play selection here from Jeff Brom is still going to include the ball being in the air, but nowhere near the sidelines. Keep the ball inbounds between the numbers. Force Louisiana Tech to have to manage the clock on their sideline.
High percentage throws, screens like we just saw on first down.
And stay away from the big, thick white lines that are 53 and a third yards apart.
They have a great balance today. 31 rush plays, 30 pass plays. They take the play clock down here. Second down at a yard, hand it off to Wales. Easy first down and more to the 37-yard line. And boy, you talked about Forrest Lamp. Two-time captain who will perform in the Senior Bowl, first team All-Conference USA a year ago.
I think NFL teams are going to really like this guy. You see him there on the combo block. Then he just uses his strength to wash down the defensive tackle. Good cutback off of his hip there by the tailback. But Forrest Lamp, rated as a guard by Mel Kiper, plays tackle here. Obviously the best lineman for Western Kentucky. But he's got that nasty streak too, a little meanness to him. He's a finisher.
Again, they take the play clock down to about 1 as Wales has passed the 40 to the 42, so 5 yards there. And again, they'll take time off the clock. Louisiana Tech will save its timeouts. Inside 4 minutes to go. The last time Western Kentucky won back-to-back conference championships, the early 70s. They've never won 10 games in back-to-back seasons. And this, if they were able to win, would get Jeff Brom to 30-10 in his 3 years as the head coach. 13 straight wins at home over a conference opponent, the longest streak in the FBS. They run to the right, Wales, and he'll be just short of the line to gain, but he stays in bounds, so the clock is moving. Smart,
heady play there by Wales. He could have probably dipped to the outside, got the first down, but stopped the clock. Wise play right there to make for a 3rd and short while the clock continues to tick down on Louisiana Tech. Smart play.
3rd down and a yard. They have been getting a lot of push up front. Wales has rarely been touched since he gets past the line of scrimmage, so let's see if they just give it to him here. La Tech stacks the box. Here's Wales pushing forward, keeps the feet moving to get the first down. That looked like it was all Wales that time.
All Wales, but also no penetration in the backfield. You didn't see a lot of push at the line of scrimmage, but you didn't see unblocked or half-blocked penetrating gap players, and that allows you to push that pile behind the offensive line. I love the trust from Jeff Brom and this staff, that offensive line, and Anthony Wales to run the football to get the tough yardage.
Wales with 4 total touchdowns. Might be on his way to an MVP if Western Kentucky hangs on. Play fake here. And going to take a deep shot is Mike White. And the pass is caught. Wow. Pulled in by Taylor. There was no way Louisiana Tech thought they were going to take a shot there. 33-yard gain.
One-on-one throw. Taylor doesn't leave Mike White a lot of room to drop this ball in over the outside shoulder. He's tight roping the sideline there, but the ball is placed expertly just beyond the outstretched forearm there, as you see from the Louisiana Tech defender, and secured over the shoulder. Matewan Taylor, who's had a remarkable day, and this really causes an issue for Louisiana Tech, Dave, because now you're in field goal territory and could pull ahead by 2 scores.
Wales wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Louisiana Tech will use a timeout. 2nd and 10 for the Hilltoppers at the 19-yard line. Love that call by Braum to take a deep shot, though, when Tech was not expecting it. Wales trying to break free. They roll him down over the 13-yard line. It'll keep the clock moving, though, if Louisiana Tech doesn't call timeout to stop it.
See that low pad level and the forward lean. Almost fumbles the football. Is able to get it back in his grasp. Ooh, that would have been devastating.
And Louisiana Tech opting not to call timeout here. 3rd and 4 for Western Kentucky at the 13-yard line. They will keep it on the ground with Wales. Not only will he get the first down, he'll get the touchdown and the championship. Four rushing touchdowns, over 200 yards on the ground, and a receiving touchdown as well for Anthony Wales.
Louisiana Tech so concerned with the inside run game that they failed to contain the edge at the line of scrimmage.
Just no resistance at all defensively for Louisiana Tech. That was way too easy for Anthony Wales. 58-44, Western Kentucky wins with 58 seconds left. Reports yesterday that Jeff Braum might be moving on. Right now, all he's thinking about is, I'm going to get my second straight championship and win 10 games in back-to-back seasons for the first time in program history. And if this is it for Braum, he goes out on a major high.
You got to give this program a lot of credit for how they've responded after a very tough introduction to the FBS level of football.
They've only lost one conference game the last 2 years. That was earlier this season in Ruston against Louisiana Tech. Fair caught at the 30-yard line, but again, it's a two-score game with 58 seconds left. Higgins stepping up, taking a shot, and it is intercepted by Brandon Leston to seal the deal. Braum trying to get his players off the field. They're celebrating right now, but there's still 50 seconds left. I mean, the players are jumping into the end zone here. I know Braum won't be pleased with that. He doesn't want to embarrass Skip Holtz. He doesn't want his players showboating. I know he's happy about the win, but he just wants it over with. Don't get carried away after a big play. Yes, you sealed the deal, but there's still time on the clock. And it is cold, so you know how that's going to feel.
And it's about to get sticky.
We saw Dabo avoid it last week, but it was also like 55 degrees. Braum knows it's coming too. Western Kentucky takes a knee. Skip Holtz calls his final timeout. Well, he's not happy about that. I know this is the best time to get him. He doesn't look pleased with something right now.
Head on a swivel. He's nailed him twice. He's turned and looked right at him. So I'm not sure when this is going to happen.
I'm with you, Quinn.
I mean, Tom, you coach. It's one of those things, right? You know it's coming, so you might as well.
He's a tough dude. Yeah,
right?
He's a tough dude too. You know, to see him smile.
Yeah,
it's like he turns around and looks at the guy and don't do that. And the player's like, oh, he cowers. I don't want to do it on coach.
Come on, they got to do it. Let's go. Come on, boys. I see you back there.
When this guy was playing in the XFL, he took one of the biggest hits we've seen on YouTube that I've ever seen any quarterback take. He just hops right up like it's nothing. So that right there, he'll embrace. He'll take it. Again, he's trying to get the guys off the field. They got to snap it one more time.
That hit you referenced, I'll never forget sitting in the staff room watching it over and over and over again. I thought he was dead.
So one more knee for Western Kentucky. And this will be back-to-back championships. The last time they won two straight conference titles was 1970 and 71. The Hilltoppers are atop Conference USA again. Head over to ESPN3 for live coverage of the Conference USA Trophy ceremony. So long from Bowling Green. For Tom Luganbill, Quint Kesnick, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. Now to Allen Fieldhouse. It's college basketball between Stanford and Kansas. With Fran Fraschilla, here's Mark Neely.